At Calvin, Dr. Meyer coached multiple sports, including cross-country, swimming, and diving and tennis. She coached the Calvin women's cross-country teams to back-to-back national titles in 1998 and 99, the Knights' first NCAA championships in a women's sport. After stepping down as cross-country coach in 2005, Dr. Meyer remained an integral part of the Calvin Athletic Department as an athletics director, athletics compliance director, and continued her role as a full-time professor in the Calvin Kinesiology Department. During her tenure, Dr. Meyer also spent 6 years on the NCAA Division III National Committee for cross-country and indoor and outdoor track and field. Thank you, Dr. Meyer, for being an outstanding teacher, competitor, and leader you are. We are grateful for all you have given to NCAA Division III athletics, the MIAA, and the Hope Calvin rivalry. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of heartfelt applause for Dr. Nancy Meyer. And now, welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse, the home of Hope College volleyball for tonight's MIAA matchup between the Flying Dutch of Hopes and the Calvin Knights in MIAA action. Before we announce our starting lineups, we ask that you please remove your hats, and join us as we stand to honor our country and everyone defending it for the playing of our national anthem. And now here are the players and lineups for tonight's match. First, for the visiting Knights of Calvin University. Number 4, Avery Ekins. Number 5, Olivia Ned. Number 6, Alyssa Lester. Number 7, Kelly Fritz. Number 9, Teresa Keene. Number 10, Mariah Boss. Number 15, Isabel Slank. Number 16, Tori Rosekamp. Number 18, Madeline Hall. Number 19, Cassidy Agami. Number 22, Marley Beaker. And number 24, Grace Selman. Now starting for Calvin. The 5'9" senior from Belleville, number 1, Grace Kellogg. A 5'9" senior from Vicksburg, number 11, Anna Schramer. A 5'9" junior from Jenison, number 12, Aubrey Rubel. A 6'1" freshman from Clarendon Hills, Illinois, number 13, Heidi Westra. A 5'11" senior from Vienna, Virginia, number 14, Kelsey Smith. A 5'11" freshman from Hudsonville, number 20, Vanessa Martinez. A 5'10" sophomore from Belleville, number 21, Gabriella Kellogg. Calvin Knights are coached by head coach Dr. Amber Warners. She's assisted by Ray Castillo, Emily Clark, Kelsey Sears-Walton, and Allie Fia. And now for your Hope College Flying Dutch. Number 1, Emma Post. Number 2, Sasha Poland. Number 3, Grace Pettinger. Number 6, Jenna Core. Number 8, Macy Kyers. Number 9, Emily Lafnir. Number 10, Liz Cutlip. Number 14, Olivia Feebing. Number 18, Sammy Seib. Number 19, Stephanie Stewart. Number 21, Eva Harding. And number 22, Allison DeWeerd. And now starting for your Flying Dutch, a senior from Grand Rapids, number 4, Anna Grunwald. A sophomore from Holland, number 5, Maggie Wermeyer. A senior from Beverly Hills, number 7, Molly Ligon. A senior from Wheaton, number 11, McKenna Otto. A junior from Grosse Pointe Farms, number 12, Charlotte Brecht. A senior from Clarendon Hills, Illinois, number 13, Tracy Westra. And a senior from Coopersville, number 16, Rose Thompson. Your Flying Dutch are coached by head coach Becky Schmidt. She's assisted by Kylie Block, Carrie Lahaki, and Amber Morse. Your officials this evening are Tina Hamp, Sharon Lucy, Charlie Ocheski, and Todd Klein. Go set 1 on a and we will start off the Point Calvin. Kill by Kellogg. Grace Kellogg serving. Points, Hope College. Kill by Brecht. Grace Pettinger serving. Ball blocked out of bounds. Points, Hope College. Point Calvin, kill by Kelsey Smith. Teresa Keene serving. Point Calvin, kill by Smith.
By by Hope. Calvin retrieves it. Hard cut shot by Heidi Westra, but it goes wide, and we're tied at 3.
Calvin already having some big swings from the outside, able to pick up 3 big kills. And Rose Thompson goes back to serve. Thompson go with the deep serve to the middle of the court. On the slide, that is Madeline Hall. Grace Kellogg with a great dig. Westra keeps it in play. Big swing there from the outside by Smith. Dug up by Wehrmeyer, and Hope is not able to send it over.
I told you should have done play-by-play, Parker. Thanks for covering me while I'm sending a text to our boss in the basement, Steve Secor. I'm watching YouTube on my phone. It looks like we don't quite have the scoreboard up for you yet. There's a point from Otto on the slide. She ricochets it off the block. So I'm doing a little text tag with Mr. Secor, who's doing a great job. We have a few things going on at Hope College today, so our staff is spread thin. But we are pleased to be bringing you this event today. And we will do our best, Parker, on our honor, to make sure that the score is kept alive until we can get that scoreboard up. Here's Westra outside the green line. Down the line, and it's in. No, it's touched. I don't know if it was in, but it was touched, and it's 5-4 Hope. Great laser right between the block and the pin. McKenna with her serve. This one's going to go outside. Not well hit by Kelsey Smith. Not great connection between her and the setter, and Hope with its biggest lead of the game, a whole 2 points. As I have a feeling we will not see a lot of spread between either of these teams. 6-4 right now.
Interesting to see how Calvin has changed up their game plan. Their outside's hitting a lot deeper in the court.
We just saw that ricochets off the net. Madeline Hall picks it up. It wasn't pretty, but they all count the same. 6-5. She tried to cut it hard, and it just got over the net tape. Kelsey Smith will serve. Calvin trailing 5-6. Otto on the first contact to Westra. Back to Grunwald. Sent back by Calvin. Grunwald's going to get it. And she sets it down 7 feet inside the net. What a shot as she elevated and pivoted.
Grunwald able to make a huge play out of such a tight set, and especially after that crazy coverage off that block. Able to make something out of system play.
Here's Westra. Outside it goes to Ligon, right side. One of the 3 middles taking her turn on the right side. She took a little bit off it. I don't think it was the world's best connection. But just like a few points ago, it wasn't pretty, but they all count. 8-5. Smart play by Ligon. She puts up a single block. She can't get to it. Westra on a tight set. To block, but it was too tight. And Charlotte knew she was in the net. A nice hit. But it will be Calvin's point. 8-6.
Calvin putting up a big block presence right now. Hope able to contend, tooling that block, but we'll see if Calvin can shift their hands a little bit as this match goes on to adjust for that.
Anna Schramer, the setter, drops back to serve, and she sends it deep, and that will be a 9-6 Hope lead. First service error by either team. Maggie Weirmeyer sends it to her opposite side libero. She gets it up. Rose Thompson from the right side, but is played well by Calvin. Martinez gets it sent back. And Hope leads 10-6 up against the single block. And Calvin's going to take the first time out of the match. We're in set one. Hope 10, Calvin 6. We'll be right back. This is Hope Volleyball. Welcome back, everybody. We are glad that you have chosen to join us this afternoon. We know you have lots of choices in your sport viewing this afternoon in the great state of Michigan, and we're glad you saved one screen for Hope Calvin Volleyball. Two top 10 teams nationally ranked. I might as well get it off my chest, Parker. This matchup looks a lot like the 2014 matchup when both Hope and Calvin were ranked in the top 10. They both had a lot of weapons, both very well coached, and they both met each other in the national semifinal in late November. Will that happen again? We don't know. We got a lot of volleyball left to play, including today, as well as the upcoming conference tournament, and then the regional tournament, and then the national tournament. So a lot of business both of these two teams have to take care of. And Calvin took care of business that time as they picked up that point. It is 10-7 in favor of the Dutch.
And I'm sure we'll hear a lot more references as the night goes on, or the afternoon goes on, to the 2014 Hope run there.
I'll try to control myself. Rumor with the serve that started that point, and that is going to be a point to Gabriella Kellogg as she ricochets it off the block, and we are at 10-8. Thanks to Mr. Steve Secor, who's directing this one all by himself, so when we have corrections at the board, he has to run back from his perch in the basement, make a correction to make it sound a little bit better. And he has done so we're glad you joined us, and we hope that the sound is good. That ball is out on the hard cut middle shot by Hope, and it is 10-9 in favor of Hope. Rubel will serve again, and that one is out, and Hope will get it back. They lead 11-9. Grunwald will serve from her very familiar far left side of the court.
Calvin always known for having some pretty aggressive serves, so that is the downside of having the more aggressive serve as they find a few more arrows on the match.
Kramer with the set, and it goes again to Gabriella Kellogg. That's two attacks in a row that have resulted in points, and the lead is cut to 11-10 for Hope.
And boy, did she put that ball down.
Here's assistant coach Ray Castillo running out to encourage and to offer the serving zone for setter Kellogg. And there's a little tip shot that's going to work for Hope, and that's going to make it 12-10. Grace Penninger coming in to play a back row shift for the Dutch. Her first appearance of the day, I believe. Things have been happening pretty quickly here, so if she was in the earlier rotation, I missed it. Middle attack, and it's going to be a kill by Heidi Westra, the freshman from Clarendon Hills, otherwise known as Tracy's baby sister.
Yeah,
I'm sure they love each other all the time, but for the next hour and a half, they might not like each other, as the two sisters, both big players on their respective teams. Teresa Ken to serve. It's her second time through. Hope leads 12-11. Lester is going to go outside to Thompson in that serve-receive rotation, but she sends it deep, and we are tied at 12. So the 4-point lead that Hope enjoyed at 10-6 has gone away, and we are knotted up at a dozen. Ken to serve again. Jump serve from the right side. Anna Grunwald didn't get much on it, but Westra did the best with it. She wasn't going to be able to set it, so she sent it over with her left hand. Or was that Otto? No, I think it was. Did you see who it was?
I didn't see who it was.
It had to have been Lester. They're standing right next to each other, and it came up with the left arm. So. Here's a middle attack. Otto from the outside, and she ricochets it off the block, and that's going to give Hope a 14-12 lead. So the 4-point lead the Dutch had, they saw it get erased, and 2 big points by Hope. They now lead 14-12 in set 1. Thompson with the left-handed serve from the right side of the service line. This is going to go outside, and it's going to be played by Hope. That was Kelsey Smith. Here's an attack by Molly Ligon that comes up against 2 Calvin blocks and sent right back. Point for Calvin, and it makes it 14-13.
Calvin maybe finding their blocking rhythm. I know they've gotten tooled a lot on that outside, but finding some success here on the right side, shutting down Hope on that attack.
Here's Westra, sends it over again, this time on the second contact. Outside it is once again Kelsey Smith, and that one is stuffed by Otto. And Westra, 15-13 Hope. Otto will drop back to serve. First contact is sprayed wide, but they are able to play it, is Calvin. Nice job by the Knights, and we've got a net violation. This time that's going to go against the Knights. I think that was Madeline Hall, and Hope once again with a 3-point lead. The winner of this match will get to host the conference tournament next week and claim regular season conference championship bragging rights. Weirmeyer is going to send it back row attack to Otto, but that one's played. Now we're going to go outside to Grunwald. That one's played by the Knights. It's going to have to be free balled over by Smith, and the Dutch are going to get another chance. A tip by Ligon, and she found a way over the shorter Kelsey Smith, and we've got a point. Excuse me, that was, I believe, Teresa Ken who was there to try to make the play. That's another point for Hope. They lead 17-13, and Calvin's going to take their second and final timeout of set 1. This is Hope Volleyball. Thanks for joining us. We will be right back.
In Vanderswaard, we are interested in the history of our community. The early Dutch settlers knew that in order for the tiny Holland community to flourish, they were going to need the shipping industry to stop by. So they began digging the channel without help from the government, all by themselves. The dream of a real lighthouse was realized in 1936 when it switched on its big light for the very first time. The ships came. The lighthouse became an icon, and the ambition and hard work of those early settlers continues to bless our community to this day. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswaard, interested in our history, invested in our future.
All right, and welcome back to this first set where Hope is leading 17-13. McKenna Otto will serve, and we will see how effective the coach's comments were during that timeout as Hope take their first point coming out of the timeout.
Heads up play by Wester, who was there. Credit Otto with the tough serve that couldn't get much on it. And another tough serve, and another point as Teresa Ken can't pull it up. And right now, they are having a hard time handling the serve of McKenna Otto, and Hope leads 19-13. They get it up this time. It's going to be a middle attack. And what a play as Madeline Hall has an answer for the run from the Dutch. And it is 19-14, and Calvin will get the serve back. That was power. Kelsey Smith the serve for the Knights. Westra goes outside to Grunewald. Let's see, hits it down right in front of the back row player. Talk about exchanging power for power. We're at 20-14.
Grunewald doing a great job of hitting very hard balls around those blocks, finding the open court and getting the points.
The set by Rubel. The attack that time is by Hall, but it's played by Hope. Back row attack by Otto, and it just goes a little late, a little deep, excuse me, as she was a little late to attack the ball, got up just a little behind it. 20-15, Hope with the lead. When do you start thinking about just kind of trading points, Parker? Let's just trade points the rest of the way, huh?
Yeah, definitely right now when they've got such a nice lead over Calvin.
Anna Schremer with the serve, played by Grunewald. Westra goes that right side to Molly Liggett. Her second kill from the right side, and that, I believe that is her 5th of the day. Second one from the right. The 3 middle offense coming, proving its mettle here for Hope. 21-15 they lead, and here's an attack by Calvin, and it's going to go into the net. Gabriella Kellogg, the block was there, but it never really made it over the net, and it is 22-15. This is the biggest lead I've seen Hope have over Calvin probably since 2014, Parker. There's a nice attack by Gabriella Kellogg as she makes up for the one that went into the net tape the point before, and we are at 22-16. Great play by Kellogg to get the serve back for Calvin and to stop the stem the tide of the Hope run. Back row attack by Otto, and instead of hitting it deep, she puts a little roll on it, and it's 23-16. That's smart volleyball.
That is definitely one of Otto's favorite shots to hit out of the back row, as she takes that out of system ball.
Grunewald sent it deep, and it's too hot to handle, as it's now 24-15. Excuse me, 24-16. And it is Grunewald serving at set point, played by the libero Kellogg, and a double hit, a double contact, another point for Hope, and the first set goes to the Dutch, 25-16. Don't go away. We appreciate you joining us. Save a screen for this game, this match. We will be back in 2 or 2.5 minutes. We're going to hear from our good folks at Lawrence and Vanderswart. Thank you for joining us. This is Hope Volleyball.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. In 1851, Holland's founder Albertus Van Raalte wanted to establish a secondary school where students could get the best education with an emphasis on Christian character. Originally called Pioneer School, Van Raalte set up classes in an orphanage on 12th Street. By 1857, the new Van Vleck Hall was completed. It provided classrooms, a library, and housing for 10 students, along with the school principal. In 1862, the school was renamed Hope College, and the first graduating class received their diplomas in the spring of 1866. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Hey, and welcome back as we await for the second set to start here between Hope and Calvin. And Hope with a decisive first set victory. We'll see what kind of changes Calvin makes, but both teams coming with some firepower. A lot of big kills this match. Calvin having a ton of big kills, and Hope able to find the kills when they need to and able to tool the block and get some tricky tips in there. Hope eventually coming out on top with a few more successful plays. And we can see how Calvin has actually adjusted their game since the last match. Their outsides previously had hit a lot of balls to libero Maggie Wehrmeyer, who had put up the Hope record for amount of digs in one match. I think it was around 44. But Calvin outside's looking to avoid her a little more this match. We'll see what happens. Hope seems to have a pretty diverse offense right now, going a lot to the various options. Right sides, middles, outsides, able to use that 3-middle offense to run some trickier plays. Calvin not quite able to keep it up right now. And we will see where the set leads us. And I think Calvin will take the first serve.
Michigan. Well, that was all Hope. I mean, if you beat a team 7th or 8th in the conference 24-16, you probably say, oh yeah, okay. But when you beat the other undefeated team by such a decisive manner, that's an impressive victory. It seems to me you absolutely cannot slow up because Calvin is just too good, it seems to me, not to play better in this set. They had some serve receive errors. They had a double contact. They had some attacks into the net, and you just don't see that from Calvin. So I have to believe, as much as we might like to think otherwise, this one will be much closer. Calvin will serve first. And there's Charlotte Brick on the first point of the second set. And she lets it go from the middle into the deep right side. And it's Hope 1, Calvin nothing. Charlotte's kind of one of the quieter middles. Ligon and Charlotte Breck sometimes take turns taking their attacks. It was Ligon in the set 1. Charlotte Breck starting out with set 2. What a shot! That was hit so hard it hit my partner Parker Billings right in the face on one bounce. Parker plays it well and sends it back into the court, and we are tied at 1-1. Way to be heads up, Parker.
That was a big swing, but my defense is too good.
1-1. Never thought webcast announcing needed workers' comp, but it might. That was a rocket by Calvin. Outside is Rose Thompson, who can't quite get on it, get over top of it. She sends it wide, and we are at 2-1 with Calvin's early lead.
Not even the spectators are safe either. That one found its way to the student section.
Spraying the balls. Number 9, Teresa Ken. To serve for the Knights with a 2-1 lead. Nice serve played by Grunwald. Westra is going to go middle to Breck with a tip. Couldn't get anything on it. Then a play by Heidi Westra from the right side, outside, excuse me. And it is 3-1 Calvin.
And Heidi Westra, fairly quiet in the beginning of this match, might be waking up as we see her take her second kill of the match.
First-year student from Clarendon Hills, Illinois, making an early impact on this team. And there's a great serve by Calvin, and Hope can't put it together on the serve receive. And my prediction, unfortunately, for Hope fans is coming true, and that is Calvin was going to play better in set 2, and that's absolutely what's happening as they lead 4-1.
And it seems as though whatever Coach Warners and Castillo have said have made a big impact on how Calvin's taken this second set.
Calvin's going to get the attack attempt again, but this time it's Smith's is played. The attack by Otto is blocked. There's Charlotte Breck with a little off-speed number, and she ricochets it off the block. She's all smiles as she comes out with 2 kills through that rotation.
Wehrmeyer with a big dig and some block coverage there, able to keep the point up, and Westra with a tricky middle play, able to bring the ball back in system.
Here's Mount Vernon's finest, Grace Pettinger in for Hope to serve. She plays that one from back row, but that's not played well by the Dutch. Good hustle, but just not good contact, and that's going to go to Calvin. And they're going to get the ball back with a 5-2 lead. Here is Heidi Westra. There's a nice short serve. But Sister Tracy sends it back on the second attack. And it is 5-3 Calvin. What a play.
Yeah.
What a great serve by Westra freshman. Great attack by Westra senior. And the sisters look at each other and they just kind of smile and shrug their shoulders. That was a fun moment there. It happened in the blink of an eye, but it's just great to watch the two of them competing hard and still sort of communicating to each other once in a while across the net. That point's going to go to Hope also, and the lead is now cut to 5-4 Calvin. Sammy Seib into the game for Hope, taking a back row shift. She serves in that. Here's a back row attack by Grunewald. Ricochets off the net tape. And another one. You don't get pretty points. It was a great play because it found a spot on the floor. There was a single block. She avoided it and ricocheted off the net tape. We're tied at 5. And Sammy Seib gets a little behind that one as she sends it deep, and Calvin will get the serve and the lead back at 6-5. Grace Kellogg to serve for the Knights. What a play on the middle attack. And we're back tied at 6. A quick middle. It happened so quickly, Parker. Tell me what happened. I had my head down.
Westra able to put that ball down on the second ball, actually. Another set.
Oh, it wasn't a middle attack.
No.
It was so fast, it wasn't even a third attack. And this time, Heidi Westra sends it deep from the back row, and Hope has its first lead of set number 2 at 7-6. Otto sends a serve just wide, and Hope can't take advantage, and we are tied at 7.
Tracy Westra, all credit to the Hope passing, but able to put some of those second balls down and draw some blockers as Hope tries to open up some more attacking avenues.
A tall left-handed setter who can jump. It seems to me if you're on defense, you absolutely have to know where they are all the time.
Yep.
There's a nice attack from the right side that ricochets off of Heidi Westra. We're going to give that point to Molly Ligon, and Hope gets the serve and the lead back, 8-7. Westra will serve for Hope. Standing serve, serves it to her sister. Going to go outside, and it's sent back. That was Gabriella Kellogg, but Hope had an answer for it. Here comes the right side by Ligon. That one's answered by Calvin. Middle attack by Martinez. Ball's kind of scrambled around. Grunewald sends a rocket. What a play by Heidi Westra. That attack from Calvin is played by Hope. We're going to go right side again. Molly Ligon with a roll. I'm running out of breath. There's an attack, that time by Gabriella Kellogg, and she finds a way as the back row can't pick it up from Hope. And we're tied at 8.
Kellogg flying into the outside, able to turn that ball into a nice sharp cut. Hope defense not quite able to handle it.
Audrey Rubel, jump serve from the left side, played by Weirmeyer. Westra, middle attack by Grunewald. Nice play, but it's played by Hope. However, the return is too tight, and Molly Ligon is waiting on the right side to send it back, and Hope gets the lead, 9-8. Hope leads 1-0. They lead by 1 point in set 2. Right side attack this time is played by Hope. That was Gabriella Kellogg. Grunewald pushes it, played. Attack by Calvin Setter. You don't see that much. Grunewald is answered. Breck, Westra, Rose, and we got a net violation by Rose Thompson. Looked like the set was just a little tight there.
Yep.
We're tied at 9-all.
Both liberos having some great coverage during that point, able to keep the ball in play.
That was a scattered point. Everyone was running around making great plays, but no one could quite get a good attack together. Gabriella Kellogg to serve. And Charlotte Brett comes with a quick middle to give Hope the lead again at 10-9. Seems like Brett does more from the middle and Ligon does more from the right. At least right now, that's what we're seeing.
Yep.
Grunwald, played by Calvin, going to go right side. It's Westra, but it's blocked and played. Calvin to get another chance and go to Westra, and this time she won't be denied as she found a way to get in between the two blockers. That's a senior move by the freshman. We're tied at 10.
Westra smiling after she pounded that ball, able to take it on her second attempt.
I don't think Tracy's going to smile back on that one.
Little sibling rivalry.
Teresa Ken. Grunwald doing a great job in the back row. Charlotte Breck sends it over, but it's played. Outside they go to Smith. That one's played by Hope. Rose sends it over, but it's sent right back. Wiermeyer sends it over on the first attack. Westra is blocked. Westra has to take the first contact, however. Anna Grunwald. Oh, what a play, but it's just wide. A smart play by Hope. Very aggressive play by Grunwald, but it goes just wide. That will give Calvin the lead and the serve, 11-10. I'm going to predict this is not going to be an 8-point difference, whoever gets to 25. I don't think we've been more than 2 apart.
Yeah, this match is pretty tight.
Grunwald again. Westra to Otto from the outside. Pushed over by Rubel. In the middle, Breck has it blocked. Outside Otto, she has it blocked. She's still in that outside position on the serve receive. She's going to try it one more time. The roll is answered. Middle is played by Hope. I'm getting tired just watching this one. What a play by Rose to keep it alive. Outside to Westra, played by other Westra. Back row attack by Grunwald, a little short one. It's played by Heidi Westra. Outside, what a shot by Kelsey Smith. That was the calm before the storm. Everyone was trying to get something going, and then Kelsey Smith came with power to give Calvin not its biggest lead. They jumped out to an early 4-1 lead. They now lead 12-10.
Calvin's blocking looking like a wall out there as they stuff Hope a couple times. We'll see if they have figured that out for the rest of the set.
They will have to adjust. And then an ace! And it makes it 13-10. That's normally one we would play. We let it go, and it hit inside the white line. Calvin, 13-10 is the lead. Hope's going to take its first timeout of the day. We will be right back. Hope Volleyball.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
And welcome back to the second set here, where Hope has just been forced to take a timeout after trailing 10-13. Calvin pick up their game quite a bit since the first set, able to make a little bit more of an offensive effort here. And Teresa Keene will start us off with the serve.
And they're making fewer mistakes. And Hope is playing a good set, but Calvin is playing kind of the set we usually expect him to play, and it's close like we would expect. Grunwald comes in from the back row, but she, no, it wasn't Grunwald, it was Otto, I believe. There were so many people in front I couldn't tell. The shot was blocked, but it was ricocheted, and Hope's going to get this one trailing 11-3, Grace Pettinger. Heidi Westra, first contact, then Rubel, then back to Heidi Westra, who gets a deflection off the tip. They get the ball back. Calvin leads 14-11.
Westra finally trying out that line a little bit. Calvin's tendency right now has been to go across from that right side, but able to find something on the line off the high hands of the Hope blockers.
Westra had a deadly short serve the first time. This time she came with some steam, and it's played. Otto ricochets it off the net tape. Calvin does a great job of playing it. Punched over by Smith. Rose Thompson finds a spot from the outside, and that serve-receive rotation, 14-12, Calvin lead. Alyssa Lester, a junior, defensive specialist. The hometown kid, she went to Hamilton High School. She resides in Holland when she's not on the Knoll Crest campus. She's in to play back row. Sammy Seib is in for Hope. And there's a block that's sent back, and that means that the Calvin lead gets cut in half. It's 14-13 Knights. Here's Sammy, played by Calvin. They have to chase it down a little bit, but great contact by Kelsey Smith. It wasn't much to start with, but Kelsey Smith made a lot out of that. And Calvin gets the point and the serve. They lead 15-13.
Smith able to find those hands, making something out of what appeared to be not very much.
Grace Kellogg, the libero, will serve from the middle of the court. Grunwald gets it deep. Westra tries to send it over, but Madeline Hall is waiting right there. Westra didn't have much to work with, as Hope having more trouble with serve receive in this set. That's one of the reasons they trail 16-13.
Madeline Hall setting a nice block for the entire Calvin defense, and able to get a kill off that one.
Plays it well. This time it's Molly Ligon, but they're answered with a block. That time it was Audrey Rubel, and Calvin leads 17-13. One more point, I think we'll get another timeout. Grace Kellogg taking care of business with her serve. That one's hard and fast. McKenna Otto on the slide. It's too deep, and it hits the antenna as McKenna can't bring it back. And it is 18-13, and my prediction came true. It is Calvin 18 and Hope 13. We're going to take another break. We are in set 2. Don't go away. Hope Volleyball.
Intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
And welcome back to the second set. And the Calvin camps looks to be in a little bit of a higher spirit as both teams retake the court to resume second set. Calvin leading 18 to Hope's 13. We will see Grace Kellogg start off the set, coming from the timeout with another serve.
Grace Kellogg giving the Dutch all kinds of problems in this serve sequence. Has done much responsible for letting Calvin stretch out the lead, and she puts it right on the baseline that gives Calvin a 19-13 lead.
Kellogg,
that is exactly what you don't want to happen if you're Hope.
Yep, and unfazed by the timeout, she puts another great ball in. She looks to put in another.
Grunwald plays this one. Westra tracks it down. Molly Ligon sends it over. Middle they're going to go, and what a play by Grunwald as she manages to get it over on the third hit. Not a whole lot that time by Maddie Hall, but it was a tough play because Hope didn't know it was going to go right there in the middle. Pettinger, Westra, Ligon. Hope's going to get another chance from the middle. McKenna Otto, and she finds a spot as she dribbles it down in front of the block. Block couldn't penetrate quite enough, and it's 19-14. Hope still has a long way to go to make it up with time running out. points running out, I should say. But there's Tracy Westra on the overpass as she sends it down and doesn't give Calvin a chance to pick up a second contact. 19-15, Calvin leads. And that one is blocked by Westra and Lingen. 3 points in a row for the Dutch, and all of a sudden, we got a match. We got a set. It's 16-19. Hope trying to climb back in. They lead 1-0, but they trail by 3 right here. Otto in the middle. That one's blocked, and Calvin's going to do a good job of getting that back. Boy, that was terrific. Grunwald ricochets it off the double block. 4 points in a row by Hope. 19-17, timeout. Calvin. We will be right back. This is Hope Volleyball.
When you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
And we are back to the second set here. Calvin's still up 19-17, taking a preliminary timeout as they look to come out hot from their huddle. Volleyball, obviously such a game of momentum, and McKenna Otto, a culprit of that momentum, able to bring the lead back up to a smaller amount after Grace Kellogg took off with her serves. Otto looks to rival her as she steps back to the line.
I think we're going to get a sub here first for Calvin, as Alyssa Lester's going to come out and Heidi Wester's going to come back in and play the back row. And it's going to be Otto again trying to shave this lead. That's an overpass. And Grunwald sends it over on the overpass. So they made the sub. Westra for Lester. They went right to Westra, and she overpassed, and it is a 1-point game. There's another tough serve by Otto, but now Wester's in on the back row, and she sends it and giving Hope a lot of trouble. Otto sends it from the back row. Calvin plays it right side. Great dig by Grunwald, and it's sent over again from the baseline. And that ball's going to go out, and it's going to be a Hope point, and we're tied. That was a crazy point. McKenna Otto, the senior, putting her team on her back as she serves 5 in a row. Outside, and there's a bad set connection, and that ball's going to go into the net as Madeline Hall didn't really have what she needed. Hope with 7 straight points. They lead 20-19, and we're going to take another timeout. This is Hope Volleyball.
Monday, hit the road.
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold? You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're all a little lost. Do you know where the lake is?
And we're back. Hope taking a lead after a long leave of absence. McKenna Otto still serving. The nice serve there. Calvin able to put up a great pass. And Kellogg putting it down to hopefully turn the tides for the Calvin Knights on her side.
That's exactly what you want to do. They had just given up 7 in a row. And Coach Billings is over here drawing up all of the tendencies. You'll have to tell us about that after this set. We are tied at 20, and it's going to be Schramer to serve, and I think that's the first bad set I've seen Tracy Westra make in her career, and that's going to give Calvin a 21-20 lead. Tracy Westra, the cool senior, doesn't seem fazed at all by it. She just nods her head. We'll get it this time. Schramer once again, jump serve from the middle, and that one's going deep. Those have been some gutsy passes, gutsy takes by the back row. A couple times they paid off, but a couple times they have not. We are tied at 21. Westra drops back to serve, standing serve, serves to her sister. Outside, what a rocket by Kellogg, but it's played by Hope. Grunwald jumps high from the back row. Calvin gets it over. And Ligon, Calvin tracks down Ligon's point. I thought that was going to be a point. Outside, Molly Liggins is played. Outside, ricocheted off the block, and Calvin picks up the point. These are terrific points. Calvin leads 22-21.
Grace Kellogg all over the court there. She puts up every ball the Dutch try to put over.
Rubel to serve. Westra has trouble with it, and that's going to be a Hope point. Or maybe it was Otto. I guess it was Otto who took the first contact.
Yeah.
And Calvin with a 23-21 lead.
Otto struggling with that pass a bit as Westra tries to bring it back into the court.
Westra got out of the way to go to the setting position, and they're going to go right back to Otto. Westra's going to have to chase it down. And that one's blocked. Grunewald faces 2 blocks. It's Westra and Martinez, and now it is set point for Calvin. 3 points in a row. Here comes Rubel to serve at set point. Otto, they're going right after her. Charlotte Breck with a tip. It's played. Going to go right side. Kellogg has her shot blocked. And Heidi Westra sends it off the block. And that is a point for Calvin, a set for Calvin. And we are tied at 1 set apiece. We're going to take a little longer break here from our good friends at Lawrence and Vanderswart. Maybe a little word from Hope. And we will be back with set 3. Don't go away. This is great volleyball. It's Hope Volleyball.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. The early Dutch settlers knew that in order for the tiny Holland community to flourish, they were going to need the shipping industry to stop by. So they began digging the channel without help from the government, all by themselves. The dream of a real lighthouse was realized in 1936 when it switched on its big light for the very first time. The ships came, the lighthouse became an icon, and the ambition and hard work of those early settlers continues to bless our community to this day. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
And we are waiting for the 3rd set to start. Calvin and Hope, 1 set apiece that they've gone after these first 2 sets. A few stats. We've got leading for the Dutch on kills, Anna Grunwald, Molly Ligon, McKenna Otto, all with 6 kills. Leading for the Knights, we have Kelsey Smith and Heidi Westra with 5 and 6 respectively. Gabrielle Kellogg hitting from the outside with 7 kills on 16 attempts. Both Westras actually with 5 kills here as we start the third set at 5 apiece. Tracy doing a great job of staying pretty aggressive on the net as she has gotten a lot of great passes to put down. And Heidi able to swing from all over the court as she takes some from back row and front row. And both teams will take the court now as we wait for the third set to start.
Well, there was no doubt that Hope played better and deserved to win set 1, and Calvin played better and deserved to win set 2. Calvin did not make the mistakes in set 2 that they made in set 1. And when both teams are playing their best, I think you get the 25-23 kinds of sets, and that's exactly what we got in set 2.
Yeah,
each time, Hope, each team needs to bring their best each set.
Yep, and we will see if either team will go on another big service run here. Last time it was Grace Kellogg against McKenna Otto. Both teams able to pull out of those ruts with some good coaching timeouts, but we will see if either team takes off at the beginning of this third set.
Well, the 6 serves by Otto and the 7 straight points. Boy, that was huge. And there was really a point at which you thought Hope was going to go up 2-0, in which case you have a whole different kind of match. But now we're tied at 1-all. It is Hope's turn to start serving, and it will be Grunwald who sends it down the line to Westra. Middle from Martinez, but that was a big giant, almost looked like a slam dunk in basketball, and the up official said, oh, just a little too much time with your hand on the ball. 1-0 Hope. Grunwald to serve again. They have to chase it down. However, Smith is going to make a play on it. Westra's got a set from the back row. Grunwald's going to hit from the back row. Heidi Westra this time, and she finds a spot as she finds where Maggie Weirmeyer is not, and it's 2-1 Calvin.
Westra able to take some off, use her court vision. She's so tall, she sees the whole court while she's up there, able to put it right in front of Weirmeyer.
Probably looking at an MIAA Player of the Year candidate in the upcoming years. Just a freshman is Tracy Westra. Teresa Ken serving at 1-all. Rose Thompson rolls it over. A little bit of tangle from the Calvin players, but they do get to the ball. Westra jump serve to the right side. Thompson she's met her match in Kelsey Smith as she single blocks Rose Thompson, and Calvin picks up the lead 2-1 early on, set 3. Teresa Ken to serve again. Excuse me, Teresa Keene. I've been saying Ken the whole time. I apologize. That one's into the net. And we are tied at 2. Here comes Pettinger in to serve. And Breck will come out. What a serve. Right over the net tape. And I don't think anyone saw it coming as Madeline Hall had to get up her hands to kind of protect her face, but it ricocheted off. Great serve by Grace. Tricky. 3-2 Hope. This one's a little more conventional. In the middle, that time Madeline Hall isn't going to have to protect anything there as she sends down a rocket, and we're tied at 3.
And if you're a Calvin fan, it is good to see the Calvin middles running a little more, as they have been fairly quiet this match. But
yeah,
they're some of their most effective hitters.
That's right. It's been a lot of outsides. Grunwald with a little tip, and it didn't quite get over the net, as that's 4 contacts. And it will be Calvin's serve. They lead 4-3. Tracy Westra to serve again. Excuse me, Heidi Westra. I don't know if that's the only time I've messed that up today, but it might not be the last. Right off the net tape, and that one's a tough serve. Tracy Westra sends it over on the second contact, and that time it's Kelsey Smith who finds a spot. Calvin off to a 5-3 lead.
Kelsey Smith able to take advantage on 2 off of a great dig by Heidi Westra, putting that ball down for a kill.
Westra with her thirds. That's that deadly short one. Hope had an answer for it before, but they don't have an answer now as they have to free ball it over. Rubel with the set, played by Hope. McKenna Otto, oh, just wide. That's exactly what we wanted to do to get the point and the momentum back. But Calvin put up a block that forced McKenna to go wide, and Calvin leads 6-3. This time McKenna Otto from the middle. She's not going to go wide on that one as she finds a spot, and it's 6-4 Calvin. Side coming in, Thompson to come out. And Sammy will serve. Sammy getting more time in the second half of the season. Freshman from Catholic Central High School, Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And that attack by Madeline Hall from the outside is not able to be brought up by Hope, and that's going to give Calvin the point, the serve, and a 7-4 lead. Calvin with the upper hand so far. The crowd getting kind of quiet here, and Hope seems to be a little back on its heels. They need to have something to get the crowd back into it and get their mojo back. Right now, they're running up against a wall as Calvin, known as the Calvin block. Molly Ligon's going to try a roll, but that one's covered. Oh, and we had a tie-up between the setter and Madeline Hall, and if it weren't for that, I'm not sure Hope could have gotten to that point. They had a really nice block rotation set up, but it is 7-5. Hope will take it. They trail, and McKenna Otto.
We will see if that collision messes with the Calvin psyche at all.
Outside attack, this time it's blocked by Hope. We're going to try one more time, this time from the right side. Hard cut by Madeline Hall, but it pivots wide. Looked like a pitcher throwing a curveball or something. It just went outside. 6-7, Calvin leads. Otto again, the one who brought us back into the match, into set 2, is on a serve run here. Westra sends it, but it's played. Now Rubel sends it, but that one's played. Roll shot by Grunwald. Back row attack by Tracy Westra. I think that's got to be 4. Nope, that's a net butt. Oh, yes, it is. 4 contacts. And that means we are going to be tied.
Both teams desperately fighting here, trying to keep the ball off the floor, as Hope looks to maybe start another run with McKenna Otto at the service line.
And that one, I got that one, Parker. I'm on it. Sorry, I had to play that ball, so I had to stop announcing for a minute. I can't do 2 things at once at my elder age. But Hope picks up that point, and we are tied. No, we are not. Hope takes an 8-7 lead. Calvin's going to call a timeout. I'm going to gather myself after having made that great play on the ball. We'll be right back. It's Hope Volleyball.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Welcome back to DeVos Fieldhouse, where I am still relishing that great play I made on the service ace by McKenna Otto. Parker, it was a great play, don't you think?
Yes.
Not as good as Tracy Westra. Sorry to interrupt. The second contact with the big left hand. All right, that might have been the best play I've seen all day. And Hope leads 9-7.
Right at the feet of her sister, too.
Rubel with the outside set. Attack by Kellogg. And Hope can't gather it up, as that was a rocket by Kellogg. And it is 9-8 Hope. And Calvin will serve Madeline Hall, the senior from Hudsonville. And that one's going way deep. I even knew to let that one go. 10-8 Hope. Tracy will move across the back row. What great shape you need to be in to be a setter to play all 6 positions, don't you think?
Yep.
Just great aerobic fitness. Wow, Hope gets it over. I think Calvin might have wanted an illegal hit. They're not going to get it. Calvin dives to give it. Great play by Wester to go right side because she knew the left side Grunwald had fallen down to get the initial contact. Wester's going to go middle this time on to Grunwald. Nice tip, but great play by Calvin to keep it up. But that one's going to go deep as the timing wasn't quite there. Probably better just to send it over. But in Hope's case, that's a good play because they're going to pick up the point. 11-8, 11-8, Hope leads. Wester to Wester on the serve receive. What a play by Gabriella Kellogg as she was facing a big block by Ligon, so she sends it over with a little tip and finds a spot in the middle of the court. Love to see all the folks joining us today. We're getting great numbers. I think the biggest viewership we've had for a volleyball match, certainly any of them that I have announced. We're grateful that you've chosen to spend some time with us today. Calvin covers Hope's block. Heidi Wester sends it over. And that one's just a little deep on the attack by Hope, and it is 11-10 Hope. Rubel to serve. They're going right at Otto, aren't they? Grunwald is blocked. And that one's into the net, and we're tied at 11.
Yep, and both teams have their serving targets. For Calvin, looks like they're targeting Otto. And for the Dutch, looks like they target Westra most of the time when she's in the back row.
Otto still in a position to receive. They haven't shaded her yet. And it's right back at her. Great pass, a great receive up that time. And a nice little slide play by Charlotte Breck. Nothing fancy, nothing hard, but she ricocheted off the block, and Hope gets the lead in the serve back, 12-11. Weirmeyer to serve. To her opponent, the other libero, and that's a great attack by Calvin, and we're tied at 12-all. Weirmeyer serves it right at Grace Kellogg every time. Grace brought it up, and Calvin got the point. We're tied 12-all with Gabriella Kellogg to serve. Anna Grunwald from the right side in that rotation. And that attack by Heidi Westra is ricocheted off and out, and Calvin has the lead, 13-12. Game of runs so far here. Gabriella, the younger sister in the Kellogg gang. And nice little tip by Grunwald. She made the most of what she had, which wasn't a lot, and she had a really smart play, tied at 13.
Yeah, Westra throwing that ball up, and Anna able to have such great court vision and awareness.
She will go back to serve from her accustomed left side. Rubel with a nice set. That one is played well by Hope. They have to track it down. Kelsey Smith with a rocket. Now Calvin plays Hope's attack. This one's blocked. Westra has to play it. Second contact to Grunwald. To Otto. And this time it's Kelsey Smith who finds a spot. Boy, that was just, you could just tell that something was going to happen as the crowd kind of got quiet. Both teams were sort of toying with each other, and Smith ended up with the point. 14-13 Calvin. This is a pivotal set. Teresa Keene to serve. Charlotte Breck has to push it over. Westra doesn't have much. She has to push it over. Tight Tracy Westra to Rose Thompson. It's played. That was not a great set, but they're going to let us play on. Tracy Westra with a great one-hander to save it. And it goes to Rose, and she hits it, and Calvin can't dig it out of its own net. What a play. Unbelievable one-handed set by Tracy Westra.
Thompson might come alive. Last time I checked the set, she was at -200, but see if she can turn this set around for herself.
They have put up a big block against her. And that's going to be a net violation, number 12, was it?
Yeah, it looks like as Rubel went to go set that pass, it was a little tight, and she fell a little bit into the net as she tried to set the ball up to the middle there.
Hope regains the lead, 15-14. Pettinger to serve to Westra. And Westra's going to get the ball back, but it's played by Weirmeyer, and Grunwald can't quite get it from the back row, and we're tied at 15. They go right after Westra to try to take her out, but they still, most of the time, manage to get her the ball back on the third contact. Westra to serve, but she's going to send it deep, and Hope's going to get the lead back, 16-15. Every point so critical here. Sammy Seib will come in to serve. Rose Thompson will go out. Hope leads 16-15. Westra to Rubel. Attack by Smith is played by Hope. Back row attack by Westra. Played by Hope. Tracy Westra sends it over to her sister. What a play by Calvin Madeline Hall. The senior gets the slide, and we are tied at 16. Assistant coach Ray Castillo looks like he's ready to go in and play right now. He's almost out on the court. Grace Kellogg to serve, the libero. Grunwald, Westra, outside to Ligon, played by Kellogg. Rubel, that one's a roll shot by Gabriella Kellogg. Ligon again from the outside. Another one of these just great points. Westra to Otto, but she's blocked! A double block by Kellogg and Hall, and Calvin takes a 17-16 lead.
Hope trying all their hitters in this rotation, and those are some pretty hard hits I saw out of Molly Ligon, some of her hardest probably, but Calvin defense able to scramble those together.
That's a hard serve by Kellogg. Middle attack by Otto, and she ricochets it off of Heidi's forehead, I think, and it's tied at 17. She went right after her. They let Heidi Westra play in the back, and they do try to take advantage of giving her opportunities back there because they... Here's an attack, this time by Madeline Hall, but she's met up by Ligon and Westra, and Hope takes the lead back 18-17. This is good volleyball, Parker.
It really is, back and forth.
Rubel set it outside. This time it goes to Kellogg, and it goes wide, and Hope has a 2-point lead, and Calvin is going to take a timeout. We're going to see once Mr. Secor, I think, is helping with the camera, so I think we're going to keep it here. Oh, you are there. Well, we'll keep it here anyway, and I'll let Parker talk for 1 minute. You're
Perfect.
on, Parker.
Perfect. Yeah, well, both teams putting up big blocks, forcing some hitting errors. Both teams able to find some good kills on stuffs, but you know, obviously the role of the block is to kind of funnel some of the attacks to the various defenders. Maggie Wehrmeyer doing a great job of getting out behind those blocks, able to pick up some of Heidi Westra's best swings out of the middle too. Her counterpart, Grace Kellogg, able to pick up a lot of the junk that's Hope's thrown over in the form of tips and rolls. Both teams doing a great job of keeping their swings big, keeping aggressive. Even in the out-of-system points, able to swing hard on those more out-of-system sets and passes from their teammates. Obviously, both teams serving well as we see some passing errors and 1 or 2 option passes. So we will see who comes out on top. It's been really back and forth. And we will see if one team will triumph over the other in this third set as we come out of the timeout.
Well, as expected and as per usual, it's Otto and Grunwald. Otto with 11 points and Grunwald with 9.5. But then Molly Ligon has just kind of quietly picked up her own 9.5 points. And we come back to action. They go right at Heidi Westra, and they have to free ball it over. That was a rocket from McKenna Otto. Ligon is blocked. Westra has to send it. Heidi from the back row, played by Pettinger. But McKenna has to take the second and Weirmeyer the third. So Calvin has a chance from the middle. And it wasn't a great connection from Madeline Hall, but it was just enough as it got over the head of Weirmeyer, and she couldn't. She moved up just a little too quickly, and the ball goes out. Calvin with the lead. Calvin with the serve. They trail by 1. Schreimer to serve. Good serve. Pettinger gets it up. And Grunwald tries to bring a little muscle to it. Really, the ball was behind her head a little too much, and we are tied at 19. Oh, no lead is comfortable here. Pettinger not able to get it to Westra, so they have to free ball it over. Heidi Westra now with the second contact. Kellogg can't get much. Here's Grunwald, and she's blocked by Rubel and Martinez, and Calvin grabs the lead back at 2019. And a timeout by Hope. We are in set 3. We are tied 1 set apiece. We will take a break. This is Hope Volleyball.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the DeGraff Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today.
And Schramer with the serve to start off the set after the timeout, and Westra able to handle a tight pass by the Hope defense and tool that block out. And Hope will bring the score back to 20-20. We'll see if they can break here in the final moments of the third set.
And Tracy Westra sends it into the net and gives Calvin the lead and the serve back. And Calvin leads 21-20 as she was trying to slither it down the line in a little short, soft serve, but it didn't work. So Rubel will serve. Weirmeyer. It's going to go to Ligon, and she's blocked, and they cannot dig it back. And Calvin leads 22-20, and a hush has fallen over DeVos Fieldhouse as there have been opportunities, but right now, Hope is on the ropes trying to gather some momentum. They go right at Otto. Outside it goes to Ligon. It's blocked. This time it's going to be Grunwald, who sends it down in a way that only she knows how to do. She puts her team on her back, and it is 22-21, a critical point for the Dutch.
Grunwald able to hit around Martinez, who has made quite a blocking presence in these last few points of the match, or of the set.
That one might have been out, but it's played by Calvin. And Heidi Westra comes in from the middle. And it's 23-21, Calvin.
That is another huge swing from Westra, and none of the Hope players even had a look at it as it scrapes the back line.
A 2-point lead at this point is a commanding lead, and it's Gabriella Kellogg who will serve and send it to Otto. To Westra, to Grunwald from the right side, and she's blocked, and it is 24-21 as Hope cannot cover. Set point Calvin. Charlotte Breck. And she's able to get the point as Hope can't dig it up. But Hope needs at least 2 in a row. And you can't think of a better person than Anna Grunwald to be serving right now, although maybe McKenna Otto, as she's been terrific tonight back there. Here's Grunwald. Goes right at the libero. Outside attack, and it's ricocheted off the block. And that is a point and a set for Calvin. They lead 20, they win 25-22. They lead 2 sets to 1. Hope has dug themselves a hole out of which they need to climb. We'll see once if they can do that. After we take this break, we'll be back with set 4, Hope Volleyball.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. In 1851, Holland's founder Albertus Van Raalte wanted to establish a secondary school where students could get the best education with an emphasis on Christian character. Originally called Pioneer School, Van Raalte set up classes in an orphanage on 12th Street. By 1857, the new Van Vleck Hall was completed. It provided classrooms, a library, and housing for 10 students, along with the school principal. In 1862, the school was renamed Hope College, and the first graduating class received their diplomas in the spring of 1866. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
I was made for this. Yeah, yeah. I was made for this. I was made for this. I was made for this. Yeah, yeah.
And we are about to enter the 4th set here in the DeVos Fieldhouse as Hope College, the Flying Dutchmen, take on the Calvin Knights. A few stats to throw out there. So Calvin with 4 players on the board with kills. Gabriella Kellogg leading the team with 10 kills on 27 attempts. She's hitting 222. The next highest would be Kelsey Smith, hitting 318 with 9 kills on 22 attempts. Calvin, their outsides taking a vast majority of their attempts here. And Westra, the Heidi version, has 6 kills on 27 attempts. Hope, the bench is pretty deep there. They've got 6 players with kills on the board. Leading their hitting percentage is Tracy Westra, actually, with 7 kills, 17 attempts. That's a pretty aggressive stat there for a setter. Doing a great job of handling the tight sets, sending him over. As far as hitters go, Kenna Otto and Anna Grunwald, usually the front runners on the Hope side, with 8 kills apiece on around 60 attempts for both of them combined. A lot of great volleyball here, and we'll see how it turns out, as Calvin only needs 1 more set to finish out the match, but Hope always able to dig themselves out of a hole. We'll see if they can strike back.
I don't look down at the bottom half of the score sheet very often, but I just happened to glance. 28 ties and 17 lead changes, 9 of those 17 in that set 3. This is about as close as it can get if you are if you're trying to predict who's going to win. Calvin hitting 139 and Hope hitting 115. It is just that close as Calvin has a 2-1 lead. They go right at Otto to start set 4. Charlotte Breck, her ball is answered by the Calvin back row. A little dump shot by Westra is played, and then Westra sends it again, and now Heidi Westra's got a block. Now she's going to chase down the first contact. Outside is going to go to Kelsey Smith. That one's played. And finally, Martinez wins the joust at the net, and Calvin has a 1-0 lead. Hope needs something good to happen to them early here to get their momentum back.
Yeah, both teams getting after right at the start of the set. Great rally there. We'll see if it continues for the rest of the set.
Gabriella Kellogg. Otto not able to get it to the setter, so Calvin's going to get another shot. Heidi Westra is blocked, but it is covered. Middle attack by Martinez is played, and oh, a miscommunication as Westra slowed up because she thought Grunewald was going to grab it, and it is 2-0 Calvin. That's not a mistake that either team makes very often.
That'll be Martinez's first kill on the night. Afternoon.
Martinez and Thompson have both been shut out by the defenses.
Yep.
They've relied on other players. Here's Rose Thompson, who sends it deep, and they wanted to touch, but they couldn't get it. And this is not how Hope wanted to start. As they lose the first 3 points, they trail 0-3. Timeout, Hope. We'll be right back. Hope Volleyball.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk.
Coach Schmidt calling an early timeout, perhaps the earliest I've seen her call at 0-3, Dutch trailing, as she tries to rally the troops to make an early comeback here and take a lead on the set.
I think she knows how critical it is. She's down 1-2. It's the conference championship. It's the chance for probably seeding in the NCAA, and most immediately the chance to host the MIAA championship. Both teams facing a must-win situation. But right now, Calvin has the upper hand, as we cannot seem to get a point here in set 4. Coach Schmidt, using all of her sports psychology right now, being very encouraging, because it was a great play, but it just went wide. And that means Calvin leads 4-0. And Hope grabs a break here as that set will go into the net. Grace Kellogg will come out, and she will be subbed in by, Gabriella will come out, and her sister Grace will take her spot in the libero switch. Anna Grunewald serving down 4-1. That one might have been out, but Calvin played it. Kelsey Smith doesn't have much. Martinez sends it over, but Hope covers. Martinez from the middle has to push it. Right side, Thompson. She's been quiet today as they've had blocks up against her. Quick hit is played by Hope in the back row. And McKenna Otto comes in from the left side to pick it up. And it's 4-2 Calvin.
Both liberos making some pretty nice back-to-back digs there.
That was critical.
Yeah.
Every point is going to be critical, even though we're at 4-2. If you're Hope, you just cannot afford to drop behind. Grunewald, nice serve, played by Grace Kellogg. Outside is Smith. In the middle is Charlotte Brick, who finds a way to ricochet it off the block. 4-3 Calvin. Grunewald from the left side, right-handed serve right at Kellogg. Rubel tracks it down. It's sent over. Here's Tracy Wester outside to Rose Thompson, who doesn't hit it hard, but she manages to tool it off the block. 4 straight points for Hope. That's exactly what we needed.
And that block that has been shutting Thompson out almost all night, she's able to take advantage of it and pick up that point there.
It's been tough to get around that. Grunewald sends it into the net. Calvin will get the serve and the lead back. Subbing in Madeline Hall and Teresa Keene. Keene will serve. Calvin leads 5-4.
And this is the rotation that Calvin really needs to take advantage of. They've got Westra and Hall in the front row, as well as Kelsey Smith, who's been making a lot of big plays this game.
Very good point. We can't get out of this one fast enough. Rose Thompson finds a way to get it over her single block, but it's played. There's Heidi Westra, Grunewald, and they're going to call a double. It is the classic right side hitters are penalized when setters shouldn't be. I thought that was not a bad play. But as the father of a right side hitter, I have to say, I think they're held to a higher standard. 6-4, Calvin leads. Grunwald, Westra has to track it down way over by the stands. But Rose Thompson finds a way, even though Tracy Westra had to track it down with a bump set. Whew, 6-5 Calvin, but that was a critical point. You don't want to go down at all. Certainly 3 points seems like a mountain to climb in a set like this. And Pettinger hits the bottom of her hand and really didn't get what she wanted on that one, and it is 7-5 Calvin. Heidi Westra to serve.
Couple of service arrows early in this game here.
McKenna Otto, one-handed pickup by Calvin, so Hope will get another chance. Otto this time, not as much juice, but it's still played by Calvin. Double block is covered by Hope. They're going to get another chance. Westra tries to send it over, but Madeline Hall was waiting. They had scouted that well. They knew she was in the front row, and Madeline went up with it, and they pick up the point.
Madeline Hall doing a great job this match of blocking. She's been shutting down the Dutch all day.
3-point lead for Calvin. And McKenna Otto is blocked again, this time by Kelsey Smith. And Hope trails 9-5. Calvin with the lead, the serve, and the momentum right now. A little short serve by Heidi Westra. That drove Hope crazy, but Calvin didn't have an answer as Tracy Westra sent it over on a little left-handed. That was what we call a cute point, maybe.
Yeah, and Tracy Westra, that's the second time she's gotten a kill off of Heidi's short serve.
I didn't see if they did the sister shoulder shrug or not on that one. I wasn't watching. Right at Heidi Westra, and that one's blocked by Hope. I thought that was a double hit, but I am a little biased. But it doesn't matter because McKenna Otto finds a spot in the front of the court on a little tip, and it's 9-7 Calvin. Sammy Seib to serve. Her second serve. And she's going to send it way deep. Calvin's going to get its 3-point lead back. Rose Thompson will come in, and they'll do a libero switch. So will Maggie Weirmeyer, and Rose will come out for her libero point. Grace Kellogg to serve. McKenna Otto sends it deep into the back of the court, and it's ricocheted up by Kellogg, but she can't keep it in play. Great play by McKenna. 10-8 Calvin. McKenna Otto, who's been terrific serving today. This one's going to be a middle attack, and there's really not much there for Hope, and Gabriella Kellogg finds the floor. 11-8. You got to put up a better defense there, it seems.
Yeah, looks like Hope is out of trouble a little bit for that last rotation. Still behind by 3 points, but we'll see what they can do against Martinez in the front row.
And Anna Schreimer sends it into the net to give Hope a little bit of a reprieve. Dutch still trail 11-9. Breck is in. Westra, Tracy to serve. To Westra, Heidi. Martinez from the middle goes wide. Good play by Maggie Weirmeyer to get the heck away from that one, and it is 11-10 Calvin. Westra to Westra again. I wonder if they did that in their backyard. I served to you, you served to me. Who would have thought that they would have been playing for two top 10 teams? Anna Grunwald. It's blocked, and it's sent back over. And this time it's Charlotte Breck who tries to go right side, but trying to get around the Heidi Westra block was unsuccessful. The point goes to Calvin. It's 12-10 Knights.
And that was a kind of beachy dig there from Heidi Westra. She sends that ball over on one.
A beachy dig. I'm going to have to remember that one. I don't think I'll be able to use that. I first have to know what it is. You'll have to teach me. That ball goes deep from Molly Ligon, and it is time to stop this. If you are a Hope College Flying Dutch, they trail 13-12. Rubel to serve. Weirmeyer to Breck. And nothing fancy, nothing powerful, but Charlotte with a smart play finds a spot on the left side of the right side of the court. It is 13-11 Calvin. Coach Schmidt talking to Tracy Westra. She assumes her spot on the floor now. And that block off of Heidi Westra goes out, and Calvin's going to get the point back and the serve, and it is 14-11. The Knights are 11 points away from winning this match in the MIAA Conference Championship. Otto, nice play to Westra, outside to Rose Thompson, but she's deep. She's just coming in a little high, I think, or maybe the ball's a little behind her ear, and it is 15-11. And that one, she almost seemed a little tentative. She tried to get it up over the block, but it went deep. Heidi Westra, one-handed set for Charlotte Breck, but the block is there. This is a tough spot for Hope as they have three powerful blockers in the front, does Calvin. 16-11. Thought we might see a timeout there, but we did not.
I think Coach Schmidt's probably saving her timeout as she already used one pretty early.
That's a good point. Calvin's going to get another chance. Heidi Westra with a tip, but she's going to go into the net as that set was very tight. And Hope gets a little bit of a lifeline here, but they trail by 4. And if you're playing a team at the bottom of the league, maybe 4 isn't bad, but you cannot afford to make mistakes. There is a service error. It is 17-12, Calvin's biggest lead of the set, perhaps the biggest lead of the match. I would have to check. And the crowd at DeVos is restless and quiet.
And we are back at that dangerous rotation with Calvin's 3 biggest hitters at the net. We'll see if Hope can get an early transition.
Thompson can't make that play on the first contact. Westra can't track it down. It is now a 6-point Calvin lead. So after a dominating first set by the Dutch, they are at risk for losing the next 3. They trail 18-12. Keen to serve. Grunwald, Westra, middle to Charlotte Breck. 13-18. Hope trails. Middle attack by Westra. Nice little tip, but it's covered. Rose Thompson with a roll shot. That one's covered. Middle attack. Heidi Westra, Madeline Hall with the power. And that ball, that hit is attack attempt is covered, blocked by Calvin. They get the point and the lead, 19-13. Hope cannot seem to get anything going here in the 4th set. And that goes deep, and that makes it 19-14. Just a quick message to send along to our camera folks and to Steve. There will be a presentation of the MIAA Championship trophy at the end of this. Parker and I will turn off our microphones, and we would probably should run the camera for a few minutes so that folks watching can watch the presentation by Penny Allen Cook, the MIAA Conference Commissioner. McKenna Otto with a slide, trying to get the Dutch back into it. They're all smiles on the outside, but we need another run here, Parker. We trail by 4.
And Samantha Sieb, the serving specialist, might be the person to do it.
That's an attack in the middle by Madeline Hall, and Calvin gets it back, 20-15. Mr. Secor, if I could get an affirmative on keeping the camera running. I want to play a 5th set, but in case we're not, I'd like to keep those cameras running for the presentation of the trophy. Is that all right? Thank you, sir. McKenna Otto off the double block is played by the libero Kellogg, and there's a miss hit. One of the few mistakes I've seen Calvin make since set 1. They have played almost perfect volleyball, and they lead 2016.
Yep, just a little missed contact there from Rubel.
Well, this is who you want back there, Parker.
Yep, McKenna Otto.
And there's a double block by Westra and Ligon. And now the crowd is waking up a little bit. And Coach Warners is going to want a timeout. Calvin leads 2017. Hope's on a little run. We'll take a very short break. We'll be back. Hope Volleyball.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
And we are back to the 4th set where Calvin is leading 20-17. The Dutch hoping to go on a small service run here, bring us back to get a possible 5th set, but Coach Warner's calling a timeout to hopefully prevent that from happening if you are a Knights fan. McKenna Otto will start off the set serving. And
well, this is the time when we need to make it happen. There is very little room for error. You're not going to score 8 in a row, but you can't trade points. And there's a nice serve by Otto. It's going to be a struggle for Calvin to get it back, but they actually make something out of it. Grunwald sends it back, and it's blocked, and it's out, and it's a point for Hope. That was very close. And I don't think the Calvin folks behind us were crazy about it, but I couldn't see it, so we'll go with the call. Middle attack, not much there, so they go with a tip. It was a nice tip. There's another tip by Grunwald, and we're at 2019 Calvin. Hope with 4 points in a row. They trailed 2015, and hold on, we've got some moisture. This is usually a tactic I see with a team without momentum, but Hope's going to do it because they don't want a wet floor. McKenna Otto serving down 2019, set 4. Calvin leads 2-1. Otto. And it's a middle attack by, that was Madeline Hall, thank you. Calvin stops the tide. They stop their bleeding and they get the serve and they lead 21-19. Schramer to serve. Pettinger to Westra. She sends it over. Pushed over. It's blocked by Grunwald. They're going to go right side this time. Kellogg is blocked. Middle is Martinez and she's blocked. Single block by Molly Ligon. What a play. 21-20. Calvin still leads, but Hope with some momentum.
And Hope able to bring it back here in the 4th set. Only 1 point away as Westra will go back to serve, probably at...
There was a despairing Paul over DeVos Fieldhouse 4 minutes ago. It's now 21-20. Calvin with the lead. 2 great blocks by Hope. Another one. And that one is a great play by Calvin as she ricochets it off. She being Gabriella Kellogg. 22-20. Calvin leads in this set. They are 3 points away from an MIAA championship. Regular season, I should say. But Charlotte Breck says not quite yet. It's 22-21. Was that a little 3 play or so, right?
Yep.
I don't know as much about volleyball as you do. So you got to help me there.
Yeah. Wehrmeyer.
Wehrmeyer to serve in the middle. Heidi Westra is going to push it. This is a tip by Charlotte direct. Not well played by Calvin, so Hope's going to get another chance. Otto, Westra, Grunwald! What a shot by Anna Grunwald! And this crowd erupts. We are tied at 22, and we will be back as Calvin is going to take a timeout. Give us about 55 seconds, Mr. Secor. We'll be back. Hope Volleyball.
You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial plan. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
All right, and it is tied up 22-22 in the fourth set of this rivalry here. And Hope College will start serving with Maggie Wehrmeyer. Hope with 14 more kills than the Calvin Knights, but the Knights able to take advantage of their superior blocking tonight, so we will see how this all comes into play.
A must-win set for Calvin. Rose Thompson sends back the overpass, and Hope has its first lead in I don't know how long. 23-22. Wehrmeyer again to her libero opponent, and that one's into the net, and we have set point Hope. Heidi Westra frustrated on that one, but frankly it was a double block. It probably didn't matter because it was likely to come back. Wehrmeyer serving at set point right at Heidi Westra. They're going to go right side this time. That one's blocked. Calvin digs it out. It's going to be Heidi Westra with a nice attempt, but it's blocked. She sends it over with one hand. Otto, Westra. Block! Point! Hope! Set! Hope! We are tied at 2 sets apiece. We're going to go to that 15-point fifth set. Fifth set. I can't even talk. I think we're both going to take a break. Mr. Secor, give us a little chance to catch our breath. We'll be back with set 5. Hope Volleyball.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
All right, and we are back at the start of the fifth set. Hope College down for most of this set, and they come back and take the fourth set. So it'll be all tied up 2 sets apiece right now. Hope College maybe with the first serve, I'm not sure, but this is the 125th meeting of all time between Hope and Calvin for volleyball. The two teams have been playing each other for since 1977. And Calvin taking the all-time series at 85-39. We'll see if Hope can gather their 40th victory or Calvin their 86th. This is the second meeting of the season where Hope previously had beat the Knights. But as both teams take the court, we will see what the final outcome of this matchup is. For kill leaders, we've got Gabriella Kellogg and McKenna Otto for both sides, each hitting at 12 kills. Kellogg with a 200 and Otto hitting at 189.
I got so excited, Parker, I spilled my popcorn.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to clean it up here. Thanks for covering for me.
Yup.
Well, if these two teams are going to play, we might as well play 5. They're very evenly matched. Both very, very well coached. And I think somehow we get spoiled in West Michigan with the high quality of volleyball that we have. And that has been true for decades. Thanks largely to people like Amber Warners and Becky Schmidt, who have led their respective teams for many, many years. We are ready. We are ready with set 5. Hope won the flip. It's Anna Grunwald to Westra. In the middle, it goes to Heidi Westra, and she ricochets it out off the block. The first point goes to Calvin. Remember, this one's to 15. And under COVID rules, we don't switch sides.
We will see if one team takes it away or not here in the first few points, as is usually pretty often in 5th sets. But both teams look composed as they are starting out the 5th of those sets.
They go right at Otto. Charlotte Breck had a great 4th set. That one is answered. Tracy chases this down. McKenna Otto sends it deep. And Becky Schmidt being very encouraging, clapping, pumping her fists, smiling. That's exactly what we want. We want that kind of aggressiveness. But that one went out. And it is 2-0 Calvin, set 5. Grunwald, Westra, right side to Rose Thompson, who's been quiet in this set match, but she comes up big there. Calvin with a 2-1 lead. Pettinger will come in to serve.
And I think that's Thompson's first big clean kill. And we'll see if she wakes up in the 5th set.
She has had a lot of defense staring in her face all day.
Yep.
She had a heroic end to set 5 at Calvin. But Maddie Hall gets it right back with a rocket right down the middle.
That was a
3-1
kill. Yeah, huge.
It's a good way to quiet a crowd. Heidi Westra to serve. Grunwald tight to the net, so Tracy Westra finds a way, as she so often does. 3-2 Calvin.
Tracy dumping to her favorite spot. Heidi was almost there. She knew it was coming, but not quite able to pick up that set or dump.
Trying to tie it up. Sammy Saad, tough serve, but it's dug up. Outside, that's wide by Kelsey Smith. Very close, but we're tied at 3 now.
And it looks like this 5th set is going to be as close as any of the other ones, and it's 3-3.
We're grateful you've joined us today. That one's in! It's in by Sammy Saad, and Hope has its first lead of this set. They lead 4-3, right on the white line. That one was played also by Calvin. I think that might have been out. Tracy Westra with a great back row attack. Here's Molly Ligon. That one's played by Kellogg. They have to chase it down. Double block, but they managed to get it over with a punch kill. That was Smith. What a smart play, and we're tied at 4.
That ball was so tight, I thought for sure it was going to get stuffed back down, but Smith able to punch it over the block and into the court. Grunwald not quite able to get there. I don't think anybody was expecting that one.
I thought that was a Hope point.
Yep.
Great play by Calvin. Here's Grace Kellogg with the serve. Outside, Molly Ligon. Middle attack this time, pushed way deep, but it's played by Hope. A little touch punch by McKenna. the power hitter decides to get a little soft, and she gives Hope a 5-4 lead. Smart volleyball.
That is another one of McKenna's favorite spots. She's gotten 3 kills in that same area.
Let's get a bunch of serves here, McKenna. Tight serve, tight to the net, but it's played by Calvin, but the hit goes wide by Hall, and Hope with a 2-point lead, and Coach Warners wisely calls a timeout. You only go to 15 here. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 50 seconds. Hope volleyball.
Intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
We're back to the 5th set where the Knights trail 4-6. McKenna Otto, who has seemed comfortable at the serving line all night tonight, is back, hopefully to take her team off to a run here. Calvin with a few extra hitting errors that I'm sure they're not too happy with, but able to stay composed and stay in this 5th set. It'll be tight for sure, and McKenna Otto will start it off.
I think this is the first, I know you're not a fan of American football, Parker. I think this is the first Michigan State football game I have not either watched or listened to in 50 years. I can't imagine a place I'd rather be than right here. This is great volleyball. It's even better now that Hope has a lead at 6-4. Calvin with an attack. And it's blocked back by Westra and Ligon. What a play as it dribbles down on the Calvin side, and Hope with a 7-4 lead. Otto right in the middle of the court, chased down by Rubel. Outside attack is blocked. That was Kellogg. Westra's going to go outside to Grunwald, and she ricochets it off. Heidi Westra right down the line. 8-4 Hope.
And Hope are on a serving lead, and Otto leading the team again here, and Calvin will take another timeout, and we will take a timeout as well.
You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
And we are back. The Dutch all smiles that they have shot up to a lead of 8-4 here in the 5th set. And Calvin Knights head coach Amber Warner is emphatically trying to pump up her team as they face a 4-point deficit in the shorter game that is the 5th set, only to 15 points. Both teams will take the court, and we will see what the rest unfolds as McKenna Otto, still serving, hopes to continue her service run after this 1-minute timeout.
DeVos Fieldhouse was moribund about 11 minutes ago. It is now electric as Hope leads in set 5. They go right at Heidi Westra, but Gabriella Kellogg has something to say about it as they make a huge play to stop the Hope College run. The Dutch lead 8-5. That was just pure power middle volleyball right there.
Yeah. The Knights have been able to really execute on those 2 balls with the outside coming in.
Schramer to serve. Westra's going to go outside to Ligon. She sends it over on medium strength. That one is Kellogg. This one's going to be Grunwald, who ricochets it off the double block past Rubel and Martinez, and it is 9-5 Hope. I think the crowd here at Hope starts to sense it, but Calvin is so dangerous. You cannot take your foot off the gas. Tracy Westra to sister Heidi. Outside, they have to push it because it's a tight set, and it's sent back by Breck and Ligon. again in that 3 middle offense. 10-5 Hope. Westra to Westra again. Middle. Martinez. It's played. Charlotte Brex is played. Rubel chases it down. Kellogg to Grunwald. Westra, right side. Molly Ligon off the block. Parker, can you believe it? It's 11-5 Hope.
Hope have taken off since they were down in the beginning, right?
They were, and they were 3 points away from losing the match in set 4. Outside to Grunwald. A tip is played by Rubel. That play has to be chased down by Hope. Ligon with a tough spot. She's blocked. Credit Calvin as they really dominated that point, but Hope leads 11-6. Aubrey Rubel will go back to serve. The Calvin side of the house is currently very quiet, but do not count them out. The number 4 team in the country. Middle set. Charlotte Breck right down the middle and ricochets it off the block. It is 12-6 Hope.
Hope spurred on by that home court advantage. The crowd's going crazy.
Weirmeyer to Westra. Westra's going to get it back. Heidi sends it. McKenna Otto plays it. What a play by Sister Tracy. Now Calvin's going to get a shot at it from the right side. And that one ricochets off, and it is in. It wasn't pretty, but it doesn't matter as Calvin picks up the point. As it caroms off the net tape, it is 12-7 Hope. Kellogg serving. Grunwald, Tracy Westra. Rose Thompson sends it from the left side. It's played by Calvin, however. They're going to have to free ball it over. Hope's going to get another shot at it. We'll see what we'll do. We're going to go right side to Rose, but it's blocked. Although Hope digs it up. Calvin's going to have to try outside to Tracy Westra, and she picks up the point. I don't know how she did that, Parker. That was so tight. What a cut shot by Heidi Westra.
Heidi just putting her thumb down a little bit and cutting across her body, able to keep the ball in play, sends it right to Tracy, who's not able to handle it. Maybe she just wasn't ready.
Hope leads by 4, but Calvin with a little mini momentum here as Gabriella Kellogg sends it to Grunwald. Westra back to Grunwald, and she finds a way down. What a play in the middle. It's 13-8. Hope is 2 points away from a conference regular season championship and a chance to host the conference tournament. Grunwald at 13-8. To Kellogg, to Rubel. Outside attack is blocked. That was Smith. They're going to get another shot this time by Heidi Westra. Great play, but it's played by Hope. We're going to go right outside this time. And McKenna Otto against a single block with a little roll shot. And there's no cover off the Martinez block. It is set point, match point, and regular season conference point right now on the shoulder of Anna Grunwald to Westra. Outside it's Smith, and what a rocket by Kelsey Smith. If Hope is going to celebrate, they're not going to celebrate yet as Kelsey Smith fired a laser down the line.
That was a big shot there. Her actually first swing down the line, and Calvin will have to dig deep here if they have any hope of coming back in the 5th set.
They need at least 5. Teresa Keene will serve. Very methodical. She takes her time to Grunwald. Westra. Hope College is the MIAA regular season champions on the last kill by McKenna Grunwald. The score is 15-9. Parker, what a match.
Crazy. It was so back and forth. Hope with the first set, Calvin with the next 2. Hope coming back and clinching the 4th set from a deficit, then able to get an early lead on the 5th set and take the match.
We were on the brink of a defeat in set 4. Well, Parker, I hope you don't have plans next weekend because we might get called to duty to do the web stream of the conference tournament. I don't know. Maybe they'll go with a different broadcast crew. Maybe we'll get the call. Oh, Mr. Secor has just announced it. I don't know if he's in charge of that, but we are going to watch here as the seniors from Hope pick up the conference tournament title, and they get the trophy that the seniors raise in the air and show to their adoring fans. A grateful Hope team turns and claps toward the crowd. The final set score, 15-9. We're going to leave the camera on. Parker and I will let you enjoy the great work from our camera folks. And when we are done with that, we will turn off the web stream. And congratulations to Hope College. They will host the conference tournament next weekend. For Parker Billings, this is Scott Vanderstoop, and this is Hope Volleyball.